The biggest killer app in iOS 7, and this is specifically for the iPhone 5S, is Touch ID. If you ever set a passcode for your phone, you know that it gets really old really fast to have to keep tapping in that passcode all the time. So now we have a little fingerprint reader built into the main button. Now, when you first get the phone, when you first take it out of the box, it's going to ask you to set that up. But maybe you just went past that and you didn't do it, or maybe you want to set up some additional fingerprints. You can have up to 5 fingerprints set up on the phone, so I want to show you how to do that. What I'm going to do first is I'll tap here on the Settings app, and then in Settings, I'm going to go over here and tap General, and then scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to tap here on Touch ID and Passcode. So the first thing I have to do is put in the passcode before anything else. And I'm going to go down over here and tap where it says Touch ID. So you have to plumb down a little bit. And it asks me to add a fingerprint, so there are none yet. So I'll do that. I'll tap Add a Fingerprint, and it tells me to place the finger on the reader. And I'm lifting up and replacing the finger on this pad, and it's vibrating as I do. When I feel it vibrate, that's how I know to lift my finger up off the pad and do it again. And if I'm not doing it right, it's going to give me a little error message saying, hey, make sure you're doing it right. And it finally says complete, and I tap continue. And there is finger 1, so I can have finger 1 through 5. Now, these two little options here, I can choose either to have Touch ID unlock the phone, and or I could choose it to make purchases from the App Store or from iTunes. So I can have one or the other. That's fine. I'll tap back. And you see over here where it says require passcode and that says immediately. Now, usually, or if you don't have Touch ID enabled, you could set it to several minutes. So you don't have to keep putting the passcode over and over again. Let me tap this here. You see there are no other choices for additional minutes, because once you enable Touch ID and you have your fingerprints in there, immediately is your only choice. Okay, so I don't need to go all the way back. I'll just tap the button so I come back here. Now I'm going to turn the phone off. I'll blank out the screen, and let's go use it. So I'll just hit the power button, and I'll wake it up again. There's the lock screen. Swipe it, put my finger on there, and we're in. Just that simple. That's really the best thing that I've found since getting this iPhone 5S.